welcome to another episode of Ask an Assistant, the podcast for executive assistants and the people that love us. I'm your host, Jess Lindgren. Let's get to work. This week's question comes from Esteemed Colleague Liz, who wrote in via askanassistant.com with the following question. Hey Jess, I'm thinking about pivoting away from executive assistant work to really use my degree, which is in finance. Do you have any advice for making a pivot like this? Hey Liz, absolutely love the question. Thank you so much for asking. I don't personally have a pivot to share. I have been an executive assistant for over 20 years, and I guess that's not true. I don't have a pivot to share into a different industry or type of role. I had plans to pivot in 2013. I absolutely detested my job. I was getting ready to go back to college and had been tailoring my resume toward project manager roles. As an executive assistant, I managed a lot of projects, so it seemed like a really natural progression at the time. I ended up starting a fractional executive assistant company, the company I still run today, Gal Friday 612. And ended up pivoting into more admin work. If you run your own company, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And the first client I signed, I still work with today. They are a blogger, podcaster, YouTuber, what have you. And nowadays I have a full-time role with them rather than an hourly contract type role. But I've been working with them since 2014, and it's wonderful. If you want to make a hard pivot to another industry altogether, like if you don't want to be an executive assistant, you mentioned, Liz, that your degree is in finance. There are definitely administrative roles available, administrative assistant, receptionist, executive assistant. Financial firms definitely need those. There's all kinds of financial industries. There's banking, there's private equity, accounting firms. Like all of those places are places that have and need financial professionals in them. If you are looking to leave the executive assistant role behind altogether, for Liz, she's got it figured out. She wants to do finance work. Liz didn't specify what exactly kind of finance work. Like I just touched on, you could be an accountant, you could be a bookkeeper, you could be a private equity person. I don't really know what they do. You could be a banker. You could go into, I'm guessing mortgages are financial. I know mortgages are finance related, but finance is a very broad field. So Liz has an idea of what they might like to do. But maybe even Liz needs to sit down and figure out specifically what they might like to do, since finance is a large, broad, and deep field. But for anybody else out there listening who is thinking about making a pivot, sit down and figure out what you really are interested in doing. Is it accounting? Is it human resources? Is it marketing, sales? Have you been an executive assistant for a number of years and you want to drop down in responsibility and workload and be a receptionist or an administrative assistant for a while? Or are you looking to break into academia but stay with administrative work? You might find a weird and different career progression system in place. Like I know plenty of people living in Syracuse, New York, plenty of people that work in the university system, and you could be a long-standing executive assistant and only be able to qualify for administrative coordinator 3 or something silly like that. So, figure out exactly what it is that you want to be doing and apply for roles accordingly. Any competent employer is going to recognize your value as a quick learner. They're going to recognize your ability to keep things confidential, your strong work ethic, your flexibility, and honestly, everything else that you bring to the table. And anybody who is worth a dang will snap you up in a heartbeat. I would also like to recommend to Liz and anyone else out there, it's 2025 Q4 almost. We're just a couple weeks away from being Q4. So anybody out there looking to make a pivot, I would really like to recommend that you register with a temp agency or 3 and let the recruiters do the legwork for you. A good recruiter will help you tailor your existing experience to put your best foot forward with potential employers. They don't get paid until you get placed. It is definitely in their best interest to place you in the right role to make you happy and to make their client, your potential future employer, happy. They don't want to just, oh, this person says they have XYZ experience, we're going to put them at ABC company. You need to make sure that it's a good personality. Like, this is a problem for the recruiter. This isn't your problem to solve. But it's in their best interest to place the right candidate with the right client. To Liz and anyone out there, stick it out at your current role as long as you possibly can, especially if you're fresh into the workforce. Like, if this is your first office job, I totally get it. You take whatever you can get outside of college and gain experience. I think any experience in an office is totally invaluable to your career progression. Like, you will find things, obviously every office is different, every industry is different, but there are definitely things that translate across offices. Stick it out as long as you can, reap up that experience, shore up those paychecks, but work toward getting yourself into something that you want to be doing. In Liz's case, we're looking at finance, and you can be an EA, an administrative assistant, a receptionist in an accounting, financial professional services firm, or you can make that pivot. Someone out there, okay, this is going to be a little bit of a spicy take. Someone out there is applying every day and would love to be doing what it is that you're doing right now. Not necessarily you, Liz, but anybody out there who's thinking about a pivot. There's someone out there just dreaming of a role like yours. And as a career administrative professional, it always bums me out a little bit when folks consider an administrative assistant or executive assistant role as a placeholder until they get the role that they want. That being said, I get it. I do. I really do. Especially here in the United States where healthcare is tied to employment. I get it. Sometimes you just need that job. But again, like, for your own personal fulfillment, your own personal happiness, for the person out there who's not whose spot that you're taking, but like, they would be so thrilled to have that job. It's a win for everyone if you can get yourself into the role that you want to be doing. If you find that you're unhappy or wanting a change, do it. Life is short, and we all have passions, we have things that we're good at, and goals for career fulfillment. Get out there and chase those dreams. Liz, I really hope that that's helpful. I hope that that steers you in the right direction. Just start applying. And I know that resume creation or resume editing or resume tailoring is exhausting. Get going on it. Enlist that help in any way, shape, or form that you can, and just let me know how it goes. And that is all for this week. I hope everyone out there listening is happy, healthy, feeling hydrated. As always, leave your comments, questions, thoughts, and concerns for me at askanassistant.com. And until next week, take care.